Welcome to Trans Men Speak, where they speak and I listen. It's Leslie Gang.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you identify as a straight man or no?
Right now, I'm an alien.
Period. 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 Period, babe. Period. Period. I'm an alien. Yes. Period. Just let me be on my own.
I'm at that point in my life, and I will say this in all honesty, is if I like it, I'll try it once. No, I'll try anything once, and if I like it, I'll do it twice. But as far as like my sexual orientation, I am attracted to cis women.
Got you. That's what's up.
That's what I know for now. I mean, possibilities could open up in the future. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm attracted to cis women, and I have always been. So
That's what's
that
up.
hasn't changed.
That's dope. That's super dope, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think another important topic that we should that I want to kind of mention is gender dysphoria, because I hear this term in our community often.
Right.
And people, and oh my goodness, there are so many aggressive trans men who honestly feel like if you do, and trans women, I'm sorry, but I don't want to exclude anybody. Put all the whole under the umbrella, okay? That if you don't have gender dysphoria, you're not trans,
right?
And I want to lay that argument to rest.
Okay.
A human being is a human being, and how they identify and love themselves is valid. Nobody gets to come around and say, "Oh, well, if you didn't do, then you're not trans."
Right.
You sound stupid.
Right. And that's a serious argument that's going on in our community right now, because I went into a trans group, which is what started me on this tirade in the first place. But I will say a couple months ago, I went into a trans group and I was told that I wasn't trans enough. Because I wasn't on T, and because I wasn't, I didn't have a beard, or I hadn't had top surgery, I wasn't trans enough. And I don't know, I went clean. When I say I went clean the fuck off, like, excuse my French, but I went clean. Like, how the fuck you gonna tell me who I am, what I am, and how I'm supposed to be? Like, that's why I started this for real. Like, it's too much going on in our community for us to be focusing on, for lack of a better word, whose dick is bigger in our community. Like, at the same, everybody getting 3 inches at this point. So put your shit away. Like, put your shit away and let's handle these real issues. Like, why are we being discriminated against? Why are we being singled out? Why is it, we are being hurt and murdered and killed just for being who we are? Let's get that issue out there. You know what I'm saying? Why are we worried about fighting amongst each other? Like, if you don't sit your $2 ass down before I make change.
Like, I didn't like, people sound stupid to me. Okay, like, that is all. They start to sound like the Charlie P. nigga.
Right.
At the end of the day, and this is how I just see it. If you're not feeding me, fucking me, or financing me, then
period.
There's a slam to none chance I'm going to care about your opinion.
Period.
But since
period.
Neither required nor desired, here we are.
Here we go. You want to go? Yo. Period. Feeding, fucking, or financing.
There it is. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yo.
everybody has an opinion, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
feels like you should live by their opinion. That's why we're under this religious attack, because they want us to all live by the fucking Bible. First of all, that thing was written 30,000 years ago, and I can't even pronounce half the words in it in
In
Hebrew, and I don't
it.
speak fucking Hebrew. I speak
Oh,
English.
wait a minute,
Okay, I
twin.
can't read it.
Say that, twin.
So
Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him. Preach to him, bro. Tell him. Tell him. You hear me?
yeah,
Listen,
so it's
cause
just
you
like
the truth.
it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. But I think people should just go for it, do it. Don't. It doesn't matter. Like I actually have a friend who is trans who does not want to medically transition,
Okay.
and he is doing everything in his power to honestly go stealth without medically transitioning. And I see the struggle because of certain features that he can't change about himself right now. I get
Mm-hmm.
it, but I respect his journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if he does not want to medically transition, then there is nobody on this planet that should say that he is not,
Fit.
he
Right.
is not a man. Yes,
Right.
that is very, that, yeah,
Say that.
yeah. You put him and me next to get together, and I'm the one that tells you I have medical surgery. You
You won't
we just gonna
believe
go
it.
to you just gonna look at him and be like, you know what, Anahs, just go in the kitchen and make some barbecue chicken. That's all you're good for right now. That's because that's how good he looks.
That's
You
what's
know what I
up.
mean? Like, he just
Yeah.
looks good on his own.
Right. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's definitely dope.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to be erased. The whole, the Stonewall conversation. It's June Pride. It's Pride Month. It's all of that, and it's overwhelming. And I've been using this word a lot lately, overwhelming, because I was telling a friend of mine. I said, who wants to wake up a black man in America? You can wake up a lot of things in life,
Why?
but who
Why
are
would
we
I
going to choose
choose?
to wake up a black man in America?
Thank
This
you.
is some bullshit.
Right.
Some bullshit.
Right.
So it's like, on top of already having other issues, I don't want added stress, because the moment I leave my door, it's a fight. And now I'm in this constant thing where, am I going to come home with my life? Because I'm watching us be murdered
Mm-hmm.
in the media.
Say
I'm
that.
watching my trans sisters be murdered. You know what I
In the
mean?
media. Say that.
Cold mysteries. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you and I leave the door, we're in the same boat here. We're
Mm-hmm.
both trans men. We both have to worry about not only our safety. You
But the
see what I'm
ones
saying?
around us.
We have to worry about so much, but I never fucking thought I would have to worry about, would I be returning home with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've been threatened. I've had fights. Um, there was a close call where I almost got jumped, but it was a thing that just, I was like, that particular night, it was, if you gonna bring it, then bring it, and make sure. But it's like, I'm not that kind of person. You understand? I'm a
Right.
lover, not a fighter, but I'll fight if I have to.
Right.
But
Right.
it's just, it's intense. It's fucking intense.
Yeah.
So I'm just overwhelmed right now. The political news.
Like, and you know what's one thing that bugs me? Like I want to. I was telling my wife this the other day. Like, why I just don't
Hi,
change.
wife. Hi, wife.
She said hi.
Oh, come through. Oh, come through. So you got your whole support right there.
Yes.
Come through. Look, I'm I'm just single biscuits.
I can't. I can't single biscuits. But
Single biscuits.
but the thing was, like, I had told her that I didn't want to change my name until after I had all my surgeries. Like, I'm only having top surgery, first of all. So I told her, like, because the way the healthcare is set up in this country, right? I'm not going to change something that I know is a for sure thing until after I get to where I want to be with my health care. And I think that that's a smart decision on my part, and I would suggest it for others as well, because the way things are headed, bruh, not only are we being targeted, but we not even being helped.
I was just having that conversation earlier, and I was just saying right now, like, I'm actually trying to figure out how to start a grassroots movement so we can change licenses to add gender instead of sex. Because now, I'll be honest, I have, in the past, I had health issues, and I'm still kind of currently dealing with them. So let's say I pass out somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look how I look, and for the most part, I'm stealth. For the, I have, gosh, maybe once in a blue moon I'll get misgendered out there, but I say once in a blue moon, like maybe like once every few months. I don't know. It's not a daily thing. So if I pass out and they go, "Oh my God, he's on the ground. Somebody help him," and then they call the ambulance. Yes, the ambulance. And then they pull my license out and they look at the sex, and if I legally change it to male, do you understand that they're going to treat my body like a male?
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Right.
You will kill me.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to wrap my head around, propose some ideas. I work closely with the LGBTQ Center here in Long Beach to figure out how we can address this issue on licenses. Because we understand what sex we were born as. Duh. We just don't, we're not the sex.
We don't identify as that anymore, right?
Gender. Duh.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want to pass out and then somebody's like, "Oh, well, get this dude some help." Yes, get this dude some help. But shit, like, you gotta make sure, check my ovaries. Hello? Like, don't.
But that's for real a thing, though. That's for real a thing. Because either, if something happens to us, either they misgender us, or they treat our bodies as if, I don't know how to word it. I don't know if what I'm wording it is correct. It's making my eyelashes itch. Wait, let me see a cigarette. Because it's making my eyelashes itch. But yeah, like, especially like trans women, they get the brunt of it though. Like,
don't they? And you know why that is? It's because women, they're the most disrespected species on the planet, including, first and foremost, is the black woman. Women are the most disrespected species on this fucking planet. But then you add black right in front of it. I was just listening to a podcast about this, because how black people continue to listen to rap and trap music and all of that's degrading the women that brought them into this world, calling them bitches, hoes, sluts, whore, all that. And then all it is just proving that if you can entrap somebody mentally, you can keep them there. That's modern day slavery. Right.
Oh, dropping knowledge. Do you hear me? That's knowledge. Drop that knowledge. Drop it.
And it's like, and so that's why it's like, you know what, like, me being who I am, whatever, I feel like there's a purpose now to start having positive conversations about women. You don't get to call her a slut. You don't get to call her a whore. But male toxicity is such a thing that, I mean, I just got done watching two dudes fight in the bar because he called him a pussy. And then he turned around and said something else. And he was like, "Well, I don't fight like a pussy." And the whole time I'm like, a vagina, a whole human thing come out of that. What's offensive about being a pussy? I mean, just if I had to really think about it.
Right.
Like, how can you be offended at something that's a strong mechanism?
To push out a whole baby, though. Come on, babe. You got a question?
Hold on, I got my pajamas on. Hello.
Well, I can't see y'all no way. So no pajamas ain't nothing. I mean, like, all I see is two beautiful black beings in a camera. One has curly hair, and they look like they're wearing lipstick with some high cheekbones. She's very pretty. And then the one next to looks like my hair, looks like a mohawk, a dreaded mohawk, and shaved on the side.
Yeah.
And they cute too.
Oh,
Yay!
so I guess my overall question is how do you feel or address the trans men taking part or taking control of their fertility or, you know, their own family planning?
Do what you will with your body. If that is your superpower in life, do it. I don't understand how somebody can honestly say anything about how a body functions. Okay? I personally cannot have children anymore. Was this body able to do so? Yes, it was, once upon a time. How do I feel about trans men fighting for their fertility rights? But damn it, do it. By all means, because that's your body. That's your body. If you want to bring a child into this world, then do it.
Right.
I'm like, you see, now it's time to future forward jump. I know a trans couple, trans man.
Hello? No. Oh. Yeah, hold on. Oh. Okay, hello?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there we go. So,
But your camera is still off. Now, you know what? Nah, I got to turn your camera off, son. Turn your camera off, son.
I don't know why it's not working.
There's a stigma in the community though that there's a stigma in our community that trans men shouldn't have anything to do with carrying their own children.
But I absolutely disagree, and I still feel like trans men need to be kept in the loop of the abortion conversation. You can't exclude trans men from this conversation. If your body can naturally produce a child, and that is what they want, then by all means do it. Our community, I don't want to say it like this, but I have to, they fucking suck. It's like, how do you fight for this, your rights for blue, but then tear down somebody else? It makes no sense to me. So if a trans man and their body can produce a child, then guess what? You have to include their reproductive rights. You have to include their decision. You have to. You don't, just because they present themselves as male, does not mean that their body isn't capable of carrying a child. Right. It is time to be done with this left, I don't know. I feel like it's standard, like left, right. It has to be one or the other. No, it doesn't.
Right.
No, it doesn't. And I am very active in the community right now with this discussion because I don't want trans men left out of the abortion talk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If it applies to them, it applies to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you don't, yeah.
Yeah. It's like issues this big.
Yeah. I know, I get so frustrated at all of it because it's like, you just want people, it's like, you know what, I'm pro mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
If you're in the medical field, you don't get to decipher, tell me, do whatever. You don't get to. Your job is to help give me valid resources and viable advice and health information so I can make the best decision for my body. Right. You don't get to treat my body differently because it doesn't present how you feel it should. What? Get the fuck out of here with that. Okay. Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah. I just have Look, every now and then you get someone though,
You have
like,
any
and you want to,
questions?
when you, with someone that has like a valid, educated type of delivery, there's certain questions that you pose to those people. Because, versus it being someone with more of a
I can't hear you.
standardized.
Come on, son.
Um, well, that's why I said the reason why I very rarely, this is pretty much my first trans man speak that I've ever inserted myself into or asked any questions to. But you're one of the first people that have come with like intellectual, an intellectual viewpoint based, based on your education and things like that as well. So to ask these type of questions or to get these type of views from people who aren't necessarily in a standard type of mindset, because we
Yes.
get into these roles, into these things, and something that I've said to Babe from the beginning though is that our relationship is our relationship. The way that we run our relationship doesn't have to fold into any mold. It doesn't have to duplicate anybody else's relationship. The things that we choose to do are for ourselves, and so it's very rare that you run into people in the community though who are outside of the box thinkers, because it's like we say that we're outside of the box because we're going to live an alternative lifestyle as it's considered, but we then step out of the boxes presented by them. Alternative lifestyle.
I wake up, I go to work, I pay taxes, I pay bills. What is alternative about my life?
Alternative is anything is anything other than the norm. But these are the things though, because I work in such a cis environment, so cis. So these are the terms though that I've adopted in order to not offend their delicate sensibilities.
Got you. Okay.
I didn't hear that last part. You said, so you don't what?
I've adopted certain terms that I use so that I don't offend their delicate sensibilities.
Offend away. They offend me every damn day. Offend
And
away.
I do, they do too, because a lot of times, because I present the way that I do, a lot of times conversations happen around me that wouldn't have happened around me if they knew.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are said around me, which gives me a very clear picture of what the cis community feels and thinks about our community
As a whole.
When I say offend, I want to backtrack 1 second. When I say offend and offend away, it's like, you know what? They don't understand that they offend us every day.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to walk on eggshells to make them comfortable?
Right.
They're not walking on they're throwing eggshells at us.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if they don't like, I say this. I'm responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for what you comprehend.
Right.
So now I have no chill about that. Like, it is like, for real, like, you can't, like, no. I used to do that same thing.
No.
I used to be like, oh, you know what, let me word it like this so it makes you feel better. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Everybody doesn't have that luxury.
It makes me feel exactly, and then we can move on from there.
Everybody doesn't have that luxury. It's the truth though. It's the true story, because I work with the general public, so
I take it anyway.
when I say I work with the general public, I work with the very, very general public. It's not unheard of for me to be in contact with upwards of 1,000 people a day.
Yeah, I don't know where you're speaking in or how, but you get further and further from the mic, so I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, because we're still trying to figure this out. We're having some connectivity technology issues over here.
You sound clear now, so wherever your voice is in relevance to that mic, stay there, because I can hear you.
I was speaking loudly. Usually I don't normally speak at this volume, so I kind of lapsed back into my original volume, so I realized that, okay, so I need to project into the microphone. Is this why you're over here talking so loud all the time?
Because you can't hear, yeah.
Okay. So I work with a lot of people, so I don't have that luxury to be able to say or to offend people on a regular
you want
basis
to.
and so even then when I'm offended or when I've been offended, I still have to find
A nice
generalized
way
terms to present my offense in a way that doesn't offend them. So there's, so a lot of times I tend to not speak on it. I just listen to it, I comprehend it, and I know what the cis community is saying.
And how they feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how we got to the climate that we're in at
Now,
this time. That's why a lot of things I'm not surprised by a lot of things that other people may be surprised about, but it's because I'm exposed to it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But that's why too, like I said, as far as speaking about or with our community taking a hold of our fertility and our family planning, is that in the state of, in the District of Columbia, it's not even a state. In the District of Columbia, surrogacy is illegal.
Right.
So you have to once you take that major type of family planning out of the way, then you're kind of left with alternative methods.
That's I certainly can respect the. Oh yeah. It's something it wasn't a topic of conversation for me because I knew I didn't want children. I didn't want to carry them. I don't want.
You
No,
You right?
I like the only part of kids I like is that I can give them back. Like if I babysit, I can give them back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
other than that, but it is true though, and and what I would want if I could shape my world with this, it's like how if the world continues to isolate individuals, like okay, trans this, gay this, bisexual this, hetero this, whatever the case may be, and then people don't want to deal with one another. I would like to see the communities build themselves. Like, you know what? It's like, okay, if you don't want to give us health care, then I'm going to become a doctor. I'm going to open up the facility and I'm going to treat these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I have a friend of mine right now. She's a doula, and she's set to deliver some trans baby, and they're trans. And the thing is like, I guess maybe with that too in the future, I want to be able to. I see the need to say, hold on, I don't want to say that prematurely. I used to always wrestle like, do we have to put trans man in front of whatever? But and I guess in some cases maybe it's important because they need to know the body they're dealing with. I don't know. Anyway, so my friend is delivering their baby, and I talked to her and I said, "Is it awkward for you?" And she was like, "Why would it be awkward bringing a child into the world?" And I said, I don't know. She was like, "Look, I delivered babies with women who had breast cancer, so they didn't have a chest. I delivered babies who were surrogate babies because their father's impotent. Does that make them any less of a man?
Mm-mm.
If she can't give birth because of this, does that make her any less of a woman?" And when they started getting, you know what I mean, tit for tat, go blah, 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 I really started to think about that, like all the health stuff that the bodies go through. Mm-hmm. I'm about to fuck these chips up. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You can edit this out the video or keep it because I don't care.
I will smash it too.
Yeah, but that's the.
I'm out there.
Okay, this is my thing though, and I'm glad that you low-key brought it up because here's my thing. I would not mind having a child. I just don't want to have a child, like out of my body. You know what I'm saying? Like out of my body. Like
have a baby because that baby's gonna be a beautiful blessing because you are already an individual in the world making the difference. You're choosing to take a platform with strangers you don't know who have the same story,
right,
which is finally living their authentic lives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, however that looks for you, I'm gonna keep you in my prayers. I'm gonna all of it,
Yeah.
all of it.
Right.
Whether it, you know what I mean, like who knows, like when and if or how, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If
It's
you
just-
two beautiful people decide to bring a child into this world, that baby's already protected by our community ancestry, because
Yeah.
we're done. You know what I mean? We're done with kids being brought up with fear of being themselves.
Right.
You know what I
Or
mean?
even exploring themselves to find out who they are.
Right. If I had a kid and my kid was a boy and he wanted to play around or dress feminine or quote unquote dress feminine, whatever, go ahead. Wear lipstick. I don't go for it. Why not?
Right.
What you know what I mean? Okay, there's this thing. Didn't Drake say YOLO? You only live once.
Yep.
Wasn't that Drake?
Yeah.
I want to write him so bad and say you are a liar. I want to write him so. I hope he watches this video.
Yeah.
Because he's lying. You only live once, and you live every day. You only die once. So I got a
Damn.
problem with that. Whole
Right. Yo, that was
deep.
That was
real
deep.
quick.
That was deep. That was
deep,
awesome.
real
Yo, like, yep, you right.
Yeah,
You right.
live every
Drake,
day,
my
you
Twitter
only
is
die once.
Handsome Yuppie, HNDSOMPYUPPY. You can find me on Facebook. My name is very unique. Hello. I'm right there. Let's talk about this. Let's make a song. Let's do a remix.
Right.
I'm not screaming YOLO. I live every day.
That's never been my thing either.
And it's been
YOLO.
mine. It's actually tatted on me.
Is it?
Yeah.
YOLO is tatted on
My
me
tattoo is
right
failure
here.
is not an option. That's what's on my back. Failure is not an option.
I got you on
That's
the
me.
ones.
Failure is not an option. That's my thing. Is
I
that
have
if you're
a
gonna do
question.
it, do it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's that?
Can you please tell me what your name is?
Oh, I'm Kirby.
Huh?
Kirby.
Hi, Kirby. And I don't want to assume that the person who's videoing me with this account, if that's their name. What's your name?
Nesby.
Nesby.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now I know. Thank you so much. I meant to ask that earlier. I apologize.
It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay.
look, get there eventually.
Right.
Look, I'm one of those people who's not afraid to tell people when I forgot their names. Like, hey, you know what? I forgot your name. I'm not that one.
I don't say
People-
nothing.
Yeah.
People cannot pronounce my name. They see my name on paper. They just go, I know you're trying to talk to me. What's up? I'm right here.
That's me. Period.
Now, when I go to the doctor, I always sometimes when I go, I always pray that she's the one that comes out and gets me, because she pronounces my name an ass. If you impress me, I'm not gonna get mad. An ass, okay, come on, let's go.
Right.
You ain't lying about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's the small things in life. The smallest things can make
So
you
much
smile.
joy. Like. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna head on out now. Head back over
yeah.
to my corner of the world.
I'm about to go live in a second. So I need to get ready for that too.
It was very nice to meet you and converse with you.
Nice to talk to you too. If you have any other questions, any other whatever topics you want to discuss, feel free to hit me up. I'm just open. You understand what I'm saying?
Got you.
I
I got an idea, right? And here's my idea.
I keep my nod. Okay, I'm out.
I want to do a 3-person panel on YouTube live.
It's only 2.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to do it through Hangouts. So would you,
Hang out.
do you? Would you like to participate?
Yeah, for sure. Why
I
not?
I would love that. Because I feel like you and I got this other person in mind, Jabril. And between the three of us, I feel like we could answer questions for people who, you know, I might not have the answer to it, but you might. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and the one thing is like all of our journeys and our experiences are different. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I just got into an argument with a friend of mine recently, because they've been on their journey for the last 6 years and they couldn't get top surgery. So
Right.
they were going, well, how did you get top surgery so soon? Within how long? Like from the moment you did this, you got top surgery within 6 months. Yes, I did. Yeah. I can't explain my process with that, but you don't have to be angry about that. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Right.
just the luck, favors, blessings. I believe in the almighty power. I feel like I've done everything right, so why couldn't I get blessed like this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like
right.
coming out of pocket with it, okay, no problem. Shit, paid $5,000 for this chest, not a problem.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's just like we got to stop working against each other.
And
It's
work
more
together.
about understanding that we're all human. We all have different needs. We all come from different walks of life, and we're gonna do with our bodies what we want. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you any less valid of a gender than it does you as a human. It makes no sense to me. So, you know, like just when I say this, I go love yourself and love yourself enough for everybody else in the room, because you have to.
Right.
You have to. Their goal is to break your spirit. Their goal is to tear you down. Don't do it to yourself.
Right.
You're all you got.
That makes
You know?
sense.
So, but for sure, but hit me up when you're ready to do the podcast, and
I'm gonna definitely hit you up.
I'll be down to participate for sure.
Okay, bet. Thank you.
All right, it was good talking to you, man, and hit me up whenever you need.
Got you.
All right.
Do me a solid. Like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, and sharing is caring.